Hey, welcome back. Stage 4 of the Tour de France. This is Art of Cycling. Back to actually painting cycling again. After a fair amount of my videos of my regular studio practice. Of course, if you want to see that kind of work, you can go to my website. Well, actually all my artwork is on my website. GregLeach.com, and of course that's who I am. Should spell it for you though. It's GREIGLEACH. Always a good thing when it comes to internet stuff to have an unusual spelling, right? Thank you, Mom and Dad. My joke is if they name me accordingly so that I could be found on Google, but they neglected to invest on that understanding. Of course, my father did work on some of the earliest computers. He never liked to say why, who he worked for. But it was the NSA. He always said no such agency. So we're on the big climb, the highest point of this year's Tour de France, in the Alps, having just come into France. We're not going to Paris this year, which is a little odd. Let's see how it does. Also, not only are we not going to Paris, but the last stage, rather than a processional and a race for the sprinters, is actually going to be a competitive day. So the jersey could change hands in the very last stage. It's happened before. In fact, Greg LeMond's, I believe, first American winner of the Tour de France. Not his first stage win, but his first win of the Tour de France. And as I say, the first American to do so. And on the record books, the only American to do so. You can read between those lines, I suspect. So, but we're on the Galibier. This is the last 4 of the breakaway. And at the top of the Galibier today, there are bonus seconds to be had, so it's unlikely these guys are going to be allowed to stay away. But, you know, allowed and caught are two different things, right? Peloton is certainly chasing them behind because the top 4 riders in the Tour are currently on equal time. And there's an 8-second bonus as well as a 6 and a 4 at the top of this climb. So it is expected that the GC guys are going to try to get ahead of each other. And get over that climb and grab some seconds, and therefore steal the jersey off of Carapaz, who's currently wearing it. Although again, all 4 are on equal time. He was the one who got across the finish line ahead of the other 3 yesterday, despite the fact that they were all given the same time at the finish. Their placing still mattered. Is that confusing enough for you? So that's what they call count back. So if things are equal, then they start counting back, and it's based on how you finished prior stages. So it's interesting, there's not a huge crowd at this point, but of course we're still 11 kilometers from the top of the Galibier. So I love these little road marking details. It helps inform the piece, and see, it gives you that sense of the climb going on and up. Just a little anchor of this corner with this motorcycle plus the red will help. Call that down to 4. And these are the last 4 guys from the original break of 17. So, rinsing off my brush first to make sure it's not dirty. I actually was watching, wish I could remember who, one of the many YouTube people that my wife watches. I'm sorry, I can't remember who told this, but it was like, you know, a non-professional artist, but she talked about using a clean rinse bottle, and then so I rinse off the brush in one thing of water, and what's the word I want? And then grab water like I'm doing right now with fresh water. Thought that was brilliant, but I haven't tried it yet. And the reason for doing that is sometimes if my brush isn't super clean, which is why I was bringing it up, that yellow paint can be, because usually, as I say, I start with the lightest, palest colors first and then work my way to dark. So what's left on my brush at the end of painting is dark. And then the first thing I paint is yellow on the next painting. So you can see that I could end up putting some blue-green onto my brush, and so putting that dark into my yellow paint, I end up with a blue-greenish yellow. Not as pure as I would want it to be. So, I'm so pleased that Jaco Alula changed their kit at the start of the tour. They were yet another team that wore blue, and I'm not quite sure why they changed. I think they may have a new sponsor, additional sponsor. If somebody knows, please leave a comment. And but they switched to this orange. It's been a long time since orange has been a featured color of a kit. It was always Euskadel Euskadi, the Basque team, that always wore orange. And when we get into the Pyrenees, the Basque fans show up and all wear orange along the side of the road. And wave their red, white, and green flags with enthusiasm, to be sure. So I don't know where the orange comes, since they're wearing, that's not a color on their flag. It's kind of like the Dutch. They all wear orange, but the flag is red, white, and blue. But who am I? Of course, the rider on this Australian, the Jayco team, the Australian team, is Danish, I believe, so all very international sport. We do have a Frenchman on the French team, David Godot, Spaniard on the Spanish team. Sorry that I don't remember his name right now. But after I finish all of this work, I do post it on my blog, theartofcycling.blogspot.com. And then there I provide a link over to my website, craigleach.com, where you can purchase the work. And I'm quite sure that by the time we get there, I'll know his name. And it'll be provided for you there. So now I'm just mixing a nice bright blue for the, there we go, for the Movistar jersey. As well as the top part of the Groupama FDJ. So you can see already, see, lots of blue. And then we need a darker blue for the rest of both kits. Yes, it was annoying, although I've kind of figured it out, but when, and actually two videos ago, I paint Visma Lisa bike in their new jersey, which turned out to be dominantly blue as well. Sort of a turquoise and has yellow. It's a brocade pattern. Was worried about being able to paint it, but the year before last, that was also the problem. So you figure it out. Just realized I forgot the Spanish rider's legs. All right, so now we're going to do not only is it orange, but then the rest of the kit is a green, sort of a muted green. So, trying to figure that out right now. I think that might work. Yeah. Also, I mean, I wanted to paint it because of what's going on, but I do make sure, or try to make sure, that I paint at least one painting of every single team, although I'm more interested in the story of the racing than I am in that little endeavor. So now that I've got some green on my brush, get a little bit of this, just a little bit of grass along the side of the road. Most of it already is switching to stone, already above the tree line. A quick back pedal to get the other labeling on these bib numbers. And then we'll go on to the stone. And now we'll go for the dark. So again, this purple, it's kind of a dioxine purple, and then the ochre green to create a nice black. And see how much more luscious that black is than just using the produced black. It's like I always feel like the ivory back eats a hole in the painting. So I always mix my own. All right, so the last thing to do is thank you for watching and lay in this roadway. So as I lay in the roadway, thank you so much for watching, and be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll be posting one watercolor on every stage of the tour, one of these videos, as well as then if you go to my blog, you'll be able to see every painting. And I do, so far I've painted 5 each day, but I think depending on what happens, that'll change. Rarely do I do less, but as the race gets more exciting, I tend to do more, and that may well happen today. This is the 3rd of today's, and the GC battle hasn't even started yet. But again, thank you for watching. Please subscribe and go to the blog, and that'll lead you to the website where you can purchase this painting and all the others that I've done so far. Well, 2/3, a third of them have sold already. Thank you so much.